Hi, welcome everyone. Now I think you can hear me. Thanks for tuning in for this very special event that we are celebrating, that we are having as a first event of the Race to Stake campaign, which is a number of actions that we are taking to incentivize and to encourage the Witnet community to stake, to kickstart the staking of the staking for the V2 protocol, and also to explain how things are working, how things are going to look like for the coming weeks and months, and to let the broader public know about this new opportunity to engage with the Witnet protocol, which is the staking and proof of stake. With all of this, we are hoping to grow the project to a whole new level and to onboard a lot more people onto the node operation activity and to the community in general. You can hear me, right? If you can confirm, or on Telegram. Yeah. Okay. I'm still muted. Oh, okay, you can hear me. Okay, so without further ado, I would like to start with a little bit of context, because there are a lot of new members in the community who have recently joined, and probably they are missing a lot of background on where did Witnet come from, and all the history that we have on our backs. And I wanted to make a brief introduction to the project and where it all comes from. If you give me a second. Yeah, let's do it. So a brief history of Witnet. I normally explain that it all started in 2014 with Stampery. You can argue that Witnet is a spin-off of a former project called Stampery. I met one of the founders of Stampery, Luis Ivan, when I was working building some stuff for Firefox OS with Mozilla Foundation, and I met Luis at Telefonica. He was working there also in the same Firefox OS project, and we got introduced, and we really got along very well. And we from that point we wanted to build something. We wanted to work together. So at that point he was working with two partners of him, Daniele and Tommaso, and they were building they were thinking of building exchange actually at the time, 2014. You can imagine the challenges back then, because the public image that there was of crypto and Bitcoin and everything, at the time it was only Bitcoin, obviously, it was not that good. It was not mainstream at all, and people would think of hackers and stuff, and this project of the exchange it didn't work because we couldn't land the right banking partner to take deposits and so on. But that was the spark for a couple of things. One, working together, because I was planning to work with them in that project, and the other is that we wanted to build something on top of Bitcoin, something based on blockchain technology that wouldn't necessarily be exchange or any trading platform or anything like that. So Stampery itself, it was a mechanism for notarizing any kind of digital data sets, any kind of digital documents, and you could create proofs of existence, integrity, and ownership of any kind of data. This was very interesting, and we were developing this for a couple of years. We actually got a patent granted for the technology, the scalability technology that we developed in-house. This patent now belongs to Witnet Foundation, by the way. And there were like a dozen companies at the time trying to do the same thing, and it wasn't like something like a 0 to 1 thing, right? Something that could explode, something that would reach the mainstream, or something that you could really monetize significantly. So at that time, we were starting to use Ethereum in addition to Bitcoin, and as we got familiar with Ethereum, we got familiar with the Oracle problem, the so-called Oracle problem, where smart contracts cannot have access to data from APIs, so data from the outside, from outside the blockchain, and we got a connection with a request from some of our Stampery customers who, in addition to notarizing data sets, they wanted to notarize websites. And we realized that those were the same availability problem. How do you have complete security of what's a certain point, a certain data point, or what's a certain piece of data without trusting a single source of truth, or without trusting some intermediary that could be tampering with the data, or it could be corrupt, it could be hacked, and so on. So in 2017, we started to think about this around summer 2017, after the ICO craze as well. Then Luis Ivan from the team was also founding Aragon at that time, and the rest of the developers, we were thinking, because our vision with the Stampery always was to develop technologies that would basically remove trust in trusted third parties and instead rely on pure mathematics and pure engineering. And we thought, what could be the next step for this? And we envisioned essentially what Witnet is today, a decentralized Oracle network, and the protocol that underpins that network. And we published the white paper on November 2017. It's quite a lengthy and research kind of paper, and what we built afterwards, you already know it. So in 2018, we were actually doing some fundraising to ensure that we could proceed with the operation, and that we could build the protocol on the network, and we were growing the team, finding the right talent to make all of that possible. Thanks to the network of investors that we already had in Stampery, and also all the contacts that we were making at that time, we got the support of a number of VCs and funds with like very reputable names. You have them there, like Draper Associates, Arrington, 1KS, Blockchain Capital, CoinFund, Economy, a lot of the big guys these days in the crypto space. And eventually we had the first Witnet testnet in 2019, January, I think. You can see there the first set of nodes synchronizing with each other and resolving some data requests, some very primitive ones. And then, those are some pictures from the launch party that we held at Aragon in Berlin. It was like a boat party. It was a really funny one. Then finally, 2020, fast forward to 2020, the pandemics and everything, but during the pandemics we were able to put together the Witnet mainnet, and we released it, and we successfully had the token generation event for the WIT coin, with that distribution that you can see there. So the Witnet mainnet have been running ever since October 14th, 2020, and for the coming years we were focused on essentially adoption and how to reach adoption. So we focused on attending a lot of different events. We were sponsors at DevCon, we were sponsors at FCC, ListCon, Denver, which is being celebrated these days. There are a lot of people in the crypto space and in the Ethereum ecosystem who knows us because of these little games that we used to play at events where we would like dynamize and make fun things so that people could get familiar with Witnet, with what we do, with our faces and so on. And finally in 2024, after everything we learned during those 7 years, we started working on Wit 2.0. Different things that different lessons that we had learned over the years, and different parts of the protocol that we were not very convinced about, and a number of new features that we wanted to build in order to make to get Witnet ready for the next batch of adoption, and for it to make to be able to serve bigger projects and projects with a bigger TVL. So basically, with Wit 2, what we are doing is the main change to how the mining works, how the node validation activity works, because we are adopting proof of stake instead of the former protocol that we had that boils down to something similar to proof of work, but with reputation in the middle and so on, but it could really be abused by people with availability of high computing power to basically take profit of it. So with proof of stake, we are creating a more solid foundation for growing the total value secured metric of the protocol. And this Wit 2 thing is coming in 2 separate installments. Let's say last February, 11th of February, we released the Wit 2 thing with Witnet Rust 2.0, and that marked the starting point for the upgrade process, let's say, where we enabled staking just the last week on February 18th, and now we need to reach a total amount of stake of 300 million WIT before proof of stake is fully activated, and the other big part of Wit 2 is also activated, which is a change to the issuance schedule, where we are moving from 45-second blocks to 20-second blocks, and from 250 WIT created with every block to only 50 WITs in every block. And then at the same time, we're working on Wit 2.1, which is an evolution of Wit 2, and that builds on this solid foundation that we already released. And basically, Wit 2.1 is, in addition to incorporating a number of new features and things that didn't make it to the Wit 2 release, we are enabling delegation, essentially, a more accessible and more universal way of staking, so that you can stake without running a validator. So to make it clear, with Wit 2, with what's released right now, you can already stake if you are running a Witnet validator node, and we are adding on top a number of convenience things like staking from MyWit wallet and managing your stake transactions from Shika wallet as well, but essentially delegation, the model in which you can stake without running a node, or simply delegating your stake into a different staker, into someone you trust, or into an exchange or whatever. That's coming later this quarter, Q1, Q2, with the Wit 2.1 upgrade. Now, for the rest of the year and for the time to come, our plan is to bring wheat to the masses. This event, I think it's a great kickstart for all of this. We want to be more, we want to improve our outreach, we want to improve our marketing. This has been quite a demand from the community for a long time. We have been doing our best to accommodate those suggestions, those requests, and now we are in a much better position and with the right talent in the team as well for making this possible. I want to take the opportunity to say to welcome Hai, our new marketing specialist. She's already doing a great job, and you will see the fruits very soon. So I would love to also take this opportunity to thank everyone who has tuned in and everyone in the community for helping us build a safer and more powerful future for Web3, which is, I think, it's the role of Witnet inside the wider Web3 space. Okay, so before we continue, because I have a lot of things for you today, but before we continue, because one of the purposes of this stream is to better explain and to how staking is working and how everything is going to work. Dr. Sabia say now a live staking demo. We are gonna do it. But before that, it's very important for us that everyone understands what we are doing and everything I'm saying. So we have this little thing called Slido. You have this QR code that you can scan, or you can go directly to slido.com and enter the room code 21337, which it's a number that many of the people here is probably already familiar with. So you can go there and you can post your own questions. You can upvote for others' questions. I think the YouTube chat itself is not enabled for this stream, so this is the preferred way to submit any questions, any doubts, either of the things that we are going to show here, or from any, any questions that you may have about the project, about Witnet, about anything related with Witnet, please. You can post them there, and we will be able to see them on screen, I think. So next in line, I think we have the demo. So for the demo, I think I have already set up a Witnet node. We have plenty of tutorials on how to do that, so I think I will skip that part today. But basically, this is a Witnet node that is running version 201. If you start a new node today, you should probably be using 203, which contains a number of bug fixes and better compatibility for the wallet component with the new network. But this will do it as well for the purpose of this demo. This node is also fully synchronized. Let me check. I hope. No, the stats. Yeah, it's synchronized, and this is the current epoch, and we should also have some balance here. I have funded it with 20k WITs, so we should have enough for staking, because the minimum amount of WITs that you can stake is 10,000 WITs, and the maximum amount is 10 million WITs. So I think we can go directly and stake. So the staking takes two different steps. The first one is the authorization. The authorization is important for security and even for regulatory reasons, because it prevents third parties from staking into your node without any authorization, without you acknowledging that and authorizing that. So inside the Witnet node utility, you have the authorize stake command. When you run the authorize stake first I want to show you the options that it has. So basically, the only option that it has is the withdrawer. When you create an authorization, you're saying, okay, this staker, this particular address can stake into my node. There are three different things with staking in Witnet. One is the withdrawer, one is the validator, and one is the staker. Starting from the staker, normally we call the staker whoever is funding the staking transaction. So that could be like your MyWit wallet, whatever, like any Witnet wallet, either the Sheikah or MyWit wallet or your own node or some other node, or maybe even an exchange potentially, where you hold your Bitcoins. Whoever is paying for the staking transaction, that's the staker. But then there are two very important roles here. One is the validator, of course, which is going to be the address of the node that is going to operate this stake, that is going to engage with the protocol and do all the proposing blocks, all the participating in data request transactions and so on. And the other is the withdrawer. The withdrawer is the address that will be eventually able to unstake, to remove coins from your current stake entry, either partially or totally, because you can do both things. You can unstake only part of your stake, or you can unstake altogether if you are done and you want to quit the staking game. So basically, in this case, the staker is going to be this node. The address is here, is this Witnet, whatever. And then the withdrawer and the validator are also the same address, so things are going to be very, very easy. If we were to choose a different withdrawer, we will just add withdrawer and then the address of the withdrawer. In this case, I can either use my own address like that, or I can remove the flag altogether and just do the authorization. When you run the authorization command, you get in exchange a couple of things. One is this big QR code that you will be able to scan from your MyWit wallet app, and this will load all the information about the validator address, about everything that MyWit wallet needs for creating a staking transaction from your current balance in MyWit wallet. But because we are staking in place, let's say we are using the same node for staking and for validating and everything, and as the withdrawer, we just need the authorization code that is encoded, you can imagine, inside the same QR code. So we are going to copy this, and we can go directly and build the stake transaction. So the command is Witnet node sample, which is 10,000, but I will keep it like that. Many of you already know that I made a mistake there because I wrote wits instead of nanowits, but it's only for a preview, and now later I will change it. And the other thing that we will need is the withdrawer. And in this case, again, I'm going to use the same address of this very particular node, which is this one. So that would do it basically. I want it to fail. Yeah. This I'm doing it just to point out every single command that you issue with the console of the node, it always uses nanowits. You need to add 9 zeros at the end. Okay, that's why you are seeing here that I'm trying to stake this ridiculous amount of Bitcoins. Okay, so now I will actually put the zeros in place. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's almost a meme already. And I just need to choose the fee that I want to use for the staking transaction. And I'm going to use the minimum that should do it. And you can see that you get this nice table where you will see all the facts about the staking transaction that you are about to build. So the first thing is the staker address. In this case, it's going to, again, it's where the money is coming from for creating the stake. It's going to be the funds that are deposited on this very same node. The next is the validator address, which is going to be the address of the node again. The withdrawer address, the address of the node again. I could use also a different withdrawer if I want to be able to withdraw conveniently from my Wit wallet. That's okay. And then the stake amount, which in this case is 10,000 Bitcoins, which is the minimum, as I mentioned before. I think we are ready to just type yes, and you can see that it's saying congratulations, 10,000 WIT have been staked by this address into the validator with the same address, using the same address as the validator, as the withdrawal address, sorry. That's pretty much it. It's that simple. I know that, of course, this requires some degree of familiarity with issuing commands on a CLI, on a terminal, and with managing a node. But yeah, every single node operator that is out there is already familiar with all of this, and migrating to the new staking protocol is this easy. It takes really a couple of minutes. Super convenient. And now for enabling a broader demographic to stake, as I mentioned, in the coming months there will be a WIT 2.1 release that will enable delegation. You have a Medium post on our Medium that explains all of that in more detail, and also shows what's the roadmap and what's into 2.1, what's into each of the releases. I will show the QR code again there if you want to read the Medium post. If we wanted to see the stakes, which are the current stakes that exist in the system, there's also a command for that, which is Witnet know the stakes, and you can see all the different validators and withdrawer addresses here. You can see that some people are using the same address for the validator as for the withdrawer, and some people are preferring to use a different one. Maybe they have a node where they have a node that they have been running for a long time and they have plenty of balance there, and they have now started a new node to act as a validator, but without any funds in it, because that's a nice thing of this way of setting up things, where you can have a validator that doesn't actually hold any funds, which is interesting because maybe you have it in a cheap virtual private server in a VPS, and you don't want to have the keys there that control a lot of like millions and millions of WIT. So you can keep your keys secure with you in a private setup, or in your My Wit Wallet application in Shake or whatever. And then the validator is only able to operate that stake, but it cannot withdraw it, it cannot unstake, it cannot spend the amount that is staked into that validator. That's why there's this distinction between the validator and the withdrawer / staker. So that's pretty much the demo. Let's see if there are already some questions in. Okay, let me see. I think I'm seeing some questions. Let me see if I can manage them from here. Just 1 second. Yeah. Okay, so So first we have an anonymous question. When will we be able to stake from Shika my Wit wallet? Yeah, for Shika it's going to take a little longer. For my Wit wallet, it's already, the functionality is already implemented. It's been tested, and we just need to make a new release of my Wit wallet, I think. Let me see if I would love to see if, yeah, Tomas is here, and I think I can. Yeah, are you here, Tomas? Yeah. On Discord. Are you here, Tomas, on Discord?
No te escucho, Dan.
Okay, yeah, he's different.
I'm here.
Oh, there you go, Tomas. Yeah, they are asking when will we be able to stake from my Wit wallet or Shika?
Yeah, basically we have implemented. Sorry, because there's a few seconds of delay, so I'm not sure if you can hear me or not.
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Sorry, I'm muting the Discord. So basically we have implemented in the latest version of Zika, we were able to implement all the needed things to be able to synchronize staking transactions. So we are going to be able to see all the transactions or the staking transactions that you made from a wallet that you could do in my Wit wallet or something like that. So for the version 2.1, we will be able to stake on my Wit wallet. It's something that it will be much easier to implement than in Seika, because Seika has like a different architecture. So first we'll be able, or all the user will be able to stake from my Wit wallet, and after that we will be considering to implement that on Seika.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And no problem.
Then we have another question here on the hardware requirements, I think. Yeah, have it here. Yeah. The question is, what kind of hardware do you advise for running a validator? So the requirements have been quite the same ever since we launched the Witnet mainnet. The official kind of recommendation or requirements have always been to have at least 2 GB of RAM, to have enough disk space, normally at least 100 GB, because the chain is actually bound not to grow beyond 75 GB per year, but in practice it's much less. So the whole chain right now takes like 80 GB. So if you're starting a new node right now, probably 200, 300 if you want should be more than enough. So all of this means that you could perfectly run a Witnet node, Witnet validator in Wit2 from your laptop computer or your gaming computer, whatever. Of course, it's for running a validator, it's always important to have a stable connection, not like the one I'm having today, I think, and also to make sure that it's running all the time, because the validators are expected to fulfill some tasks in the protocol now and then, and if they are not available, they can eventually get slashed and you would lose part of your staking. And so normally what people does is to run the validator of VPS or of some server on Amazon Web Services, on Azure, on Contabo, whatever. DigitalOcean, I think it's another pretty popular option in our community. And there are also people who run it from a Raspberry Pi or any kind of little computer that you can have running 24/7 at home. Yeah. Next question here is what do you expect the rewards of a running node to be? Yeah, this is a very interesting one that connects with the next item in our agenda today, which is the leaderboard. So this week we have released a website, a new website, staking.witnet.io, where you can see all the statistics related to the race to stake. The total staked amount right now have grown today from 84 million this morning, I think, to over 100 million. Congratulations, guys. We are already 1/3 towards the goal of 300 million. So in this website, you can also track the progress that we are making towards that goal of 300 million. You can see what's the target itself, what's the current total stake. You can see all the stake entries that have already been created. You can see all this very same data that you have here in the console, but in a much nicer way. And you have links to the Explorer just in case you want to stalk some of those validators. Sorry. And you also have this really nice thing here, the APY calculator, where you can enter the amount that you plan to stake, or you can even it's not functioning now, the next feature, but the next feature is going to be that you can enter your address there, and you can see directly what can be your expectation of monthly rewards. The thing is that the proof of stake algorithm won't activate until we reach the target of 300 million WIT already staked. So that means that that's the minimum total stake that we will have initially. And that, if you do the math, which is pretty simple, you just take the yearly issuance and you divide by those 300 million, you get an APY of 26.28. So like 26%. That's going to be it. That's only for the block proposing. Then of course there are, because we are talking, Witnet is a Oracle network itself. Your validator, in addition to being proposing blocks, it's going to be resolving data requests. It's going to be fulfilling the queries that smart contracts are sending to the Witnet Oracle. So you can expect also those rewards on top, and you can also expect those to compound over time, essentially. The next question is whether there is any slashing. Yeah, with every proof of stake mechanism there comes slashing. It exists in a very primitive way right now, and that's one of the parts of the cryptoeconomic parts of the protocol that is going to be revisited and expanded for the WIT 2.1 release, because the thing is that before seeing how the stake distribution is going to look like, before seeing how many stakers do we have, how much are they willing to put on the table in total and everything, it's going to make it's very hard to make some decisions on how slashing is going to, it needs to work. So we first need to wait and see how validators behave on the pure WIT 2, and then we can, I think, make better informed decisions on the right approach to further slashing. There are a number of conversations going on GitHub. There are several GitHub issues and discussions on these topics, because there's separate things for slashing for when a block proposer, a validator is expected to propose a block and it refrains from doing so, or it fails to do so, and that's an opportunity for slashing. Then different question is the slashing that comes with participating in a data request in a dishonest way. Let's say when your node is reporting data that doesn't match what other nodes are reporting for the same Oracle query. So all of this is something that we are actively assessing, we are actively studying, and things that will be implemented with 2.1. Next, we have has or will the team stake? Yeah, I have discussed this many times over the last year on Telegram. The foundation itself and myself personally, for example, and I think that many other founders are and employees and people in the team are in the same position, and even big contributors in the ecosystem, where they want to see first the staking ecosystem grow organically, and only if those extra coins are needed for reaching the 300 million, or for making sure that the protocol conserves its security properties and that it stays viable over time, then they will, or we will, stake. But if our intervention to that sense is not needed, I prefer not to. I prefer not to, because the more stake we add to the system, the more security we are bringing to the table. But in the early days, that means a lower APY. At this stage, I think it's a priority to make it very attractive to join the staking in Witnet, so that we can bring more people into the ecosystem, so that we can bring new validators, so that we can welcome a lot of new people in the ecosystem. If we go and stake a big amount from the foundation or as a founder, I think we are not exactly encouraging that, but rather making it less attractive for the outsiders. So I think this is over time is going to be the right call. Then there are some other big stakeholders, like the institutional investors that I mentioned before, that are being informed of the opportunity to stake and to make their coins worth it, and to help secure the network and put their coins to their best use. And I'm very positive that several of them are going to end up staking, and that's probably how we are going to reach the 300 million in the coming days or weeks. Okay, do we have any other questions? Let me archive the ones that have already been addressed. Yeah, somebody's asking whether we can stake on an exchange. That's a very great question. We briefly mentioned this in the Medium post that I mentioned before and that I linked here. If you go to that post, do you have an explanation on what's the deal with the staking on exchanges? So basically, it's a separate question. If Gate, Bitmart, or MXC, which are the three exchanges that currently support trading wheat, if they want to go and add wheat staking to their platform tomorrow, they can, because basically the staking that happens on an exchange from the point of view of an user. It's not on-chain staking. The exchanges themselves can already stake, and all they need to do is to let their users, grant them the right to use their coins to fund that staking. So technically everything is already in place for exchanges to enable this. Then we are working actively with these exchanges, giving them the support, the documentation, and everything necessary to make this possible ASAP. Because obviously this is a feature that everyone expects, and that is going to be the ultimate way in which a broader audience will be onboarded to WIT staking and to WIT in general. So we need this to exist. We need this possibility of staking in exchanges to exist. So yeah, you can count that eventually it will be a possibility, and that we are doing everything possible for that to happen. In the meantime, you have the staking in a validator right now, and hopefully in a couple of months you will also be able to delegate your stake to someone you trust, or to someone in the community, or a friend who can run the node for you, whatever. How do I buy coins to stake? Liquidity on Gate and MXC is really bad. Yeah, this has been quite an issue for a while. You know that we had a problem with the market maker that was serving these markets in the past. We already commented this on a couple of community calls over the last month, and we are working with a new provider that is being onboarded these days. They wanted to go live last week, but it couldn't be possible because we were doing the transition from the old protocol version to the v1.8 to the intermediary protocol, and in doing this there were a number of issues that we needed to solve with the wallets, so they preferred to only begin the setup of the accounts and everything once the wallet software was stable enough and fully compatible with the WIT2 network, with the current mainnet network. So in the coming days, you can expect those markets to become healthier by the day. Of course, of course, a market maker acts only on the order books, on the liquidity and so on, and it's fully up to the users and to arbitrage bots and all other kind of actors to really grow the volume and so on. I can also let you know that the exchanges themselves we have been assisting them in upgrading their nodes and upgrading their wallets to the new version. Some of them have already completed the transition, and some others are still in the process of upgrading all their infrastructure and adapting to the new software and to the new network. And that's why at some times you can see some exchanges limiting deposits or withdrawals. But yeah, they're essentially working on it, and yeah. We do everything we can, and everything is in our hands to make things easy for them to make it right. Okay, so I think that was everything for today. We will be holding more of these events. We will evolve the format. For the next one, I would really love to do, for example, the demo of my staking from my Wit wallet and some other cool stuff that we are preparing. And Race to Stake is not only a live stream. Race to Stake is a bit of the current ethos of the project. We will be running probably some contests, some giveaways, and anything that you can imagine to encourage the staking and to make sure that we hit the 300 million milestone as soon as possible, and that we have a healthy Wit2 network really soon. So thank you everything thank you everyone for tuning in. Also thanks everyone who has contributed to putting together Wit2 and to the conception and the building of Wit2. There have been a number of people that I cannot be more grateful. Yeah. People that I've been working together from the Witnet Foundation and from Stampery, from other Plane Labs and so on, but also people from the community like Dr. CPU that has been helping a lot with all the heavy lifting of building and releasing Wit2. And yeah, I'm really excited and really bullish for the future of the project, and I hope to count on everyone's support and everyone's contributions to make Witnet a market leader, which is, I think, what we all deserve and what we all want. So yeah, have a really nice evening and see you.